Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Sarah. Thank you for joining me today for this 35-minute Wall Pilates session, which will be done with a small ball. You can do the routine without a ball, so don't worry if you don't have one. Just make sure that you've got a nice clear wall to work with and the floor that you're going to be working on is comfortable for you to lie down on. I really hope that you enjoy the session, and whenever you're ready, let's begin. Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me for today's Pilates session. It's going to be Wall Pilates with a small ball. You can do the routine without a ball, but if you have one it's more fun. The balls are quite squishy. If you've got one you'll know this, but if you're thinking of getting one, they are a really good tool to use with Pilates, and I do tend to use them quite a lot in my classes. They're very adhesive to any surface that you might want to use them against, so I highly recommend. Anyway, that said, do make sure that you have a nice clear wall to work with, so meaning there's no pictures or anything that you're going to bump into as you move in your arms and legs. I have two mats down here. You don't necessarily have to do that. It's just that I've got a wooden floor here, so when I come down into a supine position, I just wanted to create a little bit more comfort for my back when I'm on the floor. Okay, if you are using a mat, by the way, do make sure that your mat is adhesive, okay, so it's not one that slips around quite a lot, because we're going to be doing a bit of standing and leaning against the wall, so don't want the mat to fall out from under you. Okay, with all that said, shall we make a start? Let's have a warm up. We'll start by not holding the ball actually, so if you can just pop that down just on the floor in front of the wall, and then we'll have a little bit of a warm up just to get things moving. Okay, so we're going to stand with our feet hip width apart, and we're standing quite close to the wall, so you're going to take your arms out in front of you. Okay, so we're trying to pop the palms on the wall in front of us, so the palms are in line with the shoulders. We've got the arms fully lengthened, but they're not locked out at the elbow. We've got to keep them nice and soft. Shoulders back and down. Okay, so right now you should be able to stand up nice and tall. So crown of the head towards the ceiling. You've got your shoulders, hips, knees and ankles all in a nice line. Okay, now we're going to be stepping back a little bit. So just go back with your feet, just another foot distance behind you. You can keep your hands where they are, but now we're kind of tilting forwards, a bit more body weight in those arms. Okay, now we're going to widen out our feet just a little bit more, so go to about shoulder width, maybe a bit more, and what we're going to do is start to walk down the wall with our hands, but when we do it we're going to try and keep this lovely neutral posture, meaning we're not going to flex forward, so this movement will be a hinge at the hip. Okay, before we do anything, let's engage our core. So we're going to breathe in first, and then as we exhale, draw the navel in towards the spine and hold it there. Now we're going to just start to gently walk the hands down towards the floor. We're not going to go all the way, but remember we hinge at the hips. Now if, like me, I feel like I'm a bit close to the wall here, we're going to just step back again slightly with the feet, because we're trying to get the spine parallel to the ground. Okay, it's quite hard to tell when you can't see yourself, but ultimately we're looking for a stretch down the back of the legs. Okay, so when you think you're in that position, keep your hands where they are and just gently lower the rib cage. Okay, keeping your arms where they are, so there might be a bit of a stretch around the chest for you. You're almost tipping the pelvis forward as well, lifting the tailbone, and that increases the stretch down the back of the legs. Okay, very carefully just start to walk back up the wall again, back to your start position. Okay, and you can keep your feet where they are, because we now know that this is ideal for us when we're coming down next, so we're going to do it again. Okay, so keeping that core engaged, just start to walk your hands down and stop when you've got your spine about parallel to the floor. Again, just relaxing the rib cage, feeling that lovely stretch down the back of the legs. Just breathe. Fantastic. Now, I'm just going to get you to pop your hands on the floor here, so fingers, and just try and relax your spine. Allow the head and the shoulders and the arms to hang loosely. Now we're going to roll back up through the spine. So breath in first, exhale, engage, and then gently roll up vertebra by vertebra to that lovely tall position. Give your shoulders a nice little roll. Okay, let's go back to the wall. Hands in front of shoulders, shoulders back and down. Remember, just tuck your tailbone under just a little bit there so that you've got a nice lengthened spine. We're not sticking our bottoms out. All right, let's go again. So gently walking down the wall, we hinge at the hips, and we stop at that midpoint. Okay, you can give your hips a little bit of a sway here as well if you like. It's quite nice and relaxing, and stretches out the back of the legs and the inner thighs a little bit. And then we're just going to pop our hands onto the floor and again relax the spine. Lovely. Allow your head to hang loose, a bit like a rag doll. Okay, and then if you can just take hold of your ball, hopefully it's nearby to where you are, we're going to roll back up again. So draw the navel in and up, gently roll up carefully to that standing position. Okay, good. Now we're just going to pop the ball on the wall now, palms just in front of it, so you can rest your body weight on it, and then just bend the elbows slightly. Okay, so just bend them slightly here, keeping the shoulders back and down, and tuck your tailbone under slightly as well. So we're trying to get a nice neutral posture. So again, shoulders, hips, knees and ankles all in a nice line. Right, keep your shoulders back and down, very gently bend the elbows, and then push the floor away from you. So we're going to breathe out and in. You don't need to bend the elbows too much, okay? Just a little bit of activation of the muscles around the back of your arms and across the chest. Okay, good. Just a couple more. All right, lovely. And then we'll leave that right there. Okay, so if you want to walk your feet a little bit further forward, you can take hold of the ball and again give the shoulders a bit of a roll. Okay, let's have a look at legs then. So I'm going to do some squat based exercises. So if you can take your ball, just place it behind your back, so mid back area. So if you start where the bottom of your shoulder blades, just go down a little bit further and then just stand up against the wall in a way that you can comfortably hold the ball between your wall and your back. So we're standing upright, shoulders, hips, knees and ankles all in a nice line, shoulders back and down. Okay, now with your feet, again, just walk forward a foot length with each foot. So now we're on a bit of a tilt. Lovely. So we're going to do a couple of regular normal squats. So all this is, I know we're on a little bit of a tilt here, but just bring your fingers in, hands forward and interlace the fingers, shoulders back and down, and just soften the knees. Come down slightly so that you've got your spine nice and upright now. So we're not tilting backwards, we're upright. Draw the navel in. Okay, now we're just going to roll, we're going to come down into our squat so the ball rolls up towards the middle of the shoulders here. Just check that your knees are behind your toes. So you've got body weight in that ball, okay, and that you haven't tipped your pelvis forward. You know, the back of your tailbone shouldn't be against the wall. We're going to keep it here. All right, then we're gently rolling back up to the start position, okay? So gently down and up. Now, if your knees were in front of your toes, by the way, just walk your feet forward slightly. So we're using the ball here to help us with our squats. So when we do squats without the ball or without the wall as well, you always get told, don't you, put body weight in your heels. It's like you're going to sit in a chair. So it really works the back of your legs and gets into the glutes. You will feel it around the thighs and into the hip flexors. We've got to try and keep the spine neutral. Keep the pelvis neutral as well. So you're not tucking your tailbone under or lifting it up. It stays neutral. Okay, we'll make that one the last one. We'll come up, and then if you just stay here, keep your knees a bit soft, and then we'll widen out the toes. Do the same with the heels, and then again widen out the toes. So we're going into a wider leg squat here. Let's keep interlacing the fingers, shoulders back and down, shoulders above hips. All right, use your core. We're gently bending the knees to come down and back up, pressing through the heels on the way back up. Lovely. So now we're really getting into the inner thighs as well. Just watch that pelvis. And that's kind of what the core control is about here as well, is keeping that pelvis in place, keeping it pelvic stability. Okay, let's keep breathing as well. So we want to and in. Okay, so exhale here, inhale here. Just making sure you're pressing into the wall with your back gently, but enough that you can keep your spine vertical as opposed to leaning back with the upper body. Good, now we're going to stay in our squat right here if you can. Lovely. Okay, let's lift the right heel, lace it down, left heel, And repeat. Just try and keep your forearms level with the floor, chin level with the floor. Keep the pelvis nice and low. Breathe. Okay, if you need to rest at any point, it's absolutely fine. But just see if you can hold that pose. Now we're going to take our arms out and then up. Okay? Every time you place your, or lift the heel rather, you're going to bring your arms down. Okay, so it's heel lift, arms down. And you just bring your arms up every time you place your heel down. So we've got a bit of coordination here, and we're working the shoulder joints. Just gently, a bit of mobilization. Try not to flare the rib cage. Keep the tummy button towards the spine. We're going for 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. Okay. Hold those hands in prayer. And then I just want you to pulse. So we're pulsing through the heels. Pulse, 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 pulse. Keep that pelvis nice and still. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll up. Well done. Okay, just very gently come away from the wall and take the ball. Now, if you just want to give your knees a lift, you're going to take them out, round and down. So up, out, round and down. Just give them a little bit of relief. And then we're going to face forward against the wall again. Okay, so feet hip width apart. Let's pop the ball on the wall in front of us. So we need to adjust our distance possibly here as well. So you want your hands, arms fit on the front of the ball, shoulders back and down, feet under hips. Chin level with the floor, crown of the head up. So we're just getting your posture, your alignment correct before we start with the next exercise. Okay, keep your knees soft. All right, on your next out breath, engage your core. And then all I want you to do is bend your elbows and lean towards the wall or to the ball. Okay, so face forward, but keeping the whole posture nice and aligned. Okay, so it's just a bit of activation around the chest and the shoulders and the back of the arms. Now we can make this a bit more challenging by putting some more body weight into it. So the next time you take your arms and lengthen them out, again, just step back another foot distance behind you. Okay, remember, try not to stick your bottom out here. We're trying to keep the shoulders, hips and knees in a nice line. So you're leaning into the ball, there's a bit of a tilt. You can feel it's a bit more challenging around the shoulders. You can feel those muscles around the back of your arms have activated a bit more. Let's go again. So pressing into the ball as we bend those elbows. A bit more challenging now. You keep your heels down. You might get a bit of a stretch down the back of the legs, which is quite nice. But we're going to go for 4, 3, 2. Let's see if we can hold this next one. Okay, so make sure you stay strong around the shoulders. Breathe. You can feel it across the chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push into the ball and come back to standing with your shoulders a roll. Okay. Now, staying where you are distance-wise on your mat, just turn to face forward, so facing the camera. Of course, you're going to be mirroring me here, so my left will be your right, presumably, okay? So what we're going to do is stay this distance away. You're going to pop the ball in the hand furthest away from the wall, and then I want you to just try and pop your, the hand closest to the wall on the wall. So you've got your arm outstretched, elbow soft, the hand is in line with the shoulder, and the chest is facing forward. Let's take the ball out to the side. Okay, now we're going to do side push-ups. This is quite challenging, especially if you've not done it before, because you need to bend the elbow and just allow your body to tilt towards the wall. Gently push the wall away from you. So in and out. What we need to try and avoid here is this. Okay, so try not to let your hip sink towards the wall. You're keeping the body still, it's just a tilt. And you don't need to bend the elbow too much, just a little bit of shoulder muscle activation is what we're looking for. Now, if you do want to work a bit harder though, you can reach up with the ball as you bend your elbow. So it just sends a bit more body weight in that direction, makes it a little bit more challenging to control the movement. That's it, good. Try not to dip the hip. It is quite challenging. Exhale Whew, inhale. Let's go for another 4, 3, 2, last one. Lovely. Okay, then from here we're going to face forward, so keep your feet where they are, pop the ball in front of you, okay, and then just widen out the feet to about shoulder width, maybe a bit more actually, and turn your toes out to the side. Let's find that neutral posture, so lengthen through the spine, shoulders back and down. Okay, now what we're going to do now is go back to that original exercise we did at the very start, where we hinge at the hips and we're trying to lower the body down towards the floor into that parallel position. However, we're going to change it slightly. Okay, we're going to take the ball up as we go down. So be very careful with this one, nice and steady. Okay, so breathing in, we then exhale, engage the core. Now slowly push into the ball, start to roll it up. Now as you do that, hinge at the hips, you're taking your breastbone towards the wall in front of you. Okay, and just hold that position. Watch your shoulders, push into the ball, stay strong. If you don't like how this feels around the shoulders, please don't do it, but you're just trying to hang there. Good. Now press into the ball, tuck your tailbone under, and start to bring the ball down so you end up with your hands back on the ball and that ball is directly in front of your chest. Let's go again. Breathing in. Exhale, pushing into the ball, hinging at the hips, roll the ball gently up. So you've got kind of parts of your wrists or your forearms pushing into the ball. That's it. Just try and lower the rib cage, send the chest towards the wall in front of you. Any pinching or pain in the lower back, we don't do it. And then push into the ball to come back up. All right, well done. Let's take hold of the ball here, give the shoulders a nice little roll. So that gets you around the pectorals a bit, that one as well. Now we need to do the other arm, the other shoulder. So I'm going to be turning my back on you for a second. So feet together, and then you're just going to stay the same distance away from the wall, and then try and take the hand closest to the wall. That's it, palm on it, palm in line with the shoulder, and you're taking the other arm out to the side. Okay, so chest facing forward. Draw the navel in, and when you're ready, let's bend the elbow, push the, I keep calling it floor, don't I? Push the wall away from you. That's it. Remember, you don't need to bend the elbow too much, just a little bit of activation. That's all we're looking for. And we're trying to not send the hip towards the wall. Keep that perfect alignment. And then we can bring the ball in if you like as well. Just reach it up and overhead. That does make it so much more challenging. That's it, good. Let's go for 3. If you've had enough, it's fine because it is hard. 2, last one, and back we come. We're going to face forward. Perfect. Now let's come a little bit closer to the wall now, ball on the wall. Okay, so ball in front of the chest. Make sure your arms are fully lengthened, but again, soft elbows. You've got the palms on the ball. And then we're going to take the feet shoulder width, maybe a bit more, turn the toes out to the side, going back to that other exercise we've just done, but we're not going to step quite so far away. So we're going to push into the ball, reach, start to roll it up. As you tip forward, you end up with your forearms on the ball. You can interlace your fingers here, lean into this, lower the rib cage, and draw the navel up. So you're just hanging there. That's it. Remember, watch your lower back, any pinching or pain, don't do it, and watch the shoulders as well. Gently press into the ball and then roll it down as you lift the breastbone up. And again, okay, so we'll start with the hands on the ball, breathing in, exhale, pushing up, tilting forward at the hips, forearms on the ball, interlace the fingers, you're lowering the rib cage as you're reaching the arms up, just trying to sink the rib cage down and lifting the tailbone. Just hold it there for a moment, and then to come up, push into the ball, but roll it down, lift your breastbone, and you're back to your start position, rolling the shoulders. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is come down into supine. So if you just bring your feet underneath your hips, and we'll just come down onto the floor, and then you're going to take your ball, just pop it to the side for a minute, and bring yourself really close to the wall with your tailbone. That's a bit awkward, but just do your best. Okay, so just take your bottoms close to the wall as you can get it. balls just to the side for a minute, and then we're going to pop our feet on the wall. Okay, so knees and feet will be hip width apart. Make sure your feet aren't right in front of your knees. You want to bring them up slightly so you can see them. Okay, and then we're going to take the ball and pop it between our knees. So the ball will help you here as well. This is about knees in line with hips, or knees hip width apart. We're going to relax our arms down, palms facing down. Just relax the chest. Okay, when we're doing these next few exercises, it's all about the scapular region. So we need to make sure we've got a nice square shoulder girdle. So you can just try and open up the chest here, and your shoulder blades should be about flush with your back. Now we're just going to start to lift and lower the tailbone slightly. So make sure your feet are in full contact with the wall. On your next out breath, engage your core and just lift your tailbone just gently so you can feel the back of the pelvis lift off the floor, then relax it. We are going to be coming up a little bit more, or much more to be fair, in a moment, but I just want you to get a feel for this. So you can start to feel it really working the back of the legs already. And do keep your arms by your side. You can push very gently or press your arms towards the floor as you lift the tailbone, okay? But keep that chest nice and wide. Now we're going to come up a bit more, thinking about lifting up through the spine, vertebra by vertebra. So dead slow, we exhale up and we lift up, sending the knees up towards the ceiling. But don't come too high, let's come back down. Make sure we're happy with how this feels. So we've got some spinal mobilization, but we're working the back of the legs and of course the shoulders. Just keep hold of your ball. See if you can come up a bit higher, but don't rush and don't force it. We're sending the knees towards the ceiling, coming up a little bit higher now, and I'm going to just make this my last one. So I'm up here, tummy button towards the spine. That's it, good. And again, nice wide chest, pressing gently into the floor with the back of your arms. Just make sure you can turn your head from side to side here easily, and then you know you're in a good position, you're not squashing your breast firm. All right, let's gently roll down as we breathe in. Lovely. Now we're going to do that a couple more times, okay? So exhale, rolling up. Think about taking the knees towards the ceiling. Gently down as we breathe in. So this is like a bit of a combination of the shoulder bridge exercise that you do in Pilates on the floor, and also the shoulder stand, which is quite an advanced movement. And you should be able to now feel this around the back of your legs, okay, and of course your hips. So it's a really nice way to get into those muscle groups as well by doing this. Okay, let's come down. Right, next exercise, let's just take the ball from between the knees. You can keep your knees where they are. You're just going to hold the ball in your right hand and widen out your arms. Okay, now we're going to go back up into the shoulder stand, let's call it that. Up we come, and then you're going to pass the ball to the other hand, and as you come down, you're widening out your arms. So rolling up into your bridge or to the stand, you're passing the ball to the other hand. Widen out the chest to come down. Exhale, inhale, and breathe. Let's just perfect this a little bit as well. So when we come up into the shoulder stand here, just squeezing the glutes very gently. Good stuff. Let's go for another 4, 3, 2, last one coming up. Fantastic. And we'll come down right there. Okay, good. Just pop your ball to the side for a second and shuffle back towards the wall. Because if you've done anything like me, you scooch towards the further away from the wall, which is absolutely fine, no worries at all. Okay, let's pop our feet back onto the wall again. So knees and feet are hip width apart, feet in full contact with the wall. Arms down by your side, palms facing down. We're not going to need the ball for this one, but let's have a nice wide chest again. Now, we're going to roll back up into the shoulder stand. So tucking the tailbone under, knees towards the ceiling, okay? And then you're just going to lengthen out both legs now. Try and get your feet on the wall. Now, try not to drop your tailbone. Just tuck it under, draw your navel in, and again, make sure you can move your head easily from side to side. Okay, we're going to start with the left knee. Just bring it in towards your chest and then lengthen out the leg again and swap sides. Okay, so use your arms here. Gently press the back of your arms towards the floor. Exhale, inhale. That's it. Really gets into the back of the legs. And of course, we've got that scapula strengthening here as well. A little bit of hip mobility. Good. And we're going to go 6. Keep the pelvis nice and still so it's not twisting from side to side. 2 and 1. Okay. Bring the feet back down slightly so your knees are bent. Then you can roll down from this shoulder stand. Okay, good. Now we're going to stay here. Feet back on the wall again. Remember, you want to be able to see your feet. Widen out the chest, palms facing down. We're rolling back up into the shoulder stand. So up with the knees. Just lift the feet slightly. Now we still want to bend at the knees. Okay, but your feet should be above the knee joint. Now all we're going to do here, keeping your pelvis still again, just raise the left leg up. Try not to sink the rib cage down, okay? Nice strong chest or wide chest. Press your arms into the floor. Now we're going to take this left leg and allow it to just fall. So you'll feel a stretch here. Okay, tap the wall. And again. Alright, so that right leg is staying absolutely still. Press it very gently. Press the foot rather very gently towards the wall to really activate the muscles down the back of the right leg. We're going 4, 3, 2, last one. Brilliant. Okay, now just replace your foot. We'll do the same on the other side. Okay, so right leg up. Gently take it over. Okay, keep it going. If you need to relax, by the way, it's fine. If you feel it's very heavy or you're heavy around the shoulders or if there's any pain or aching, don't do it. Just come down. Good. Keep the back of the pelvis level with the wall. That's it. Lovely. Just a couple more. Brilliant. And then we'll replace the foot. We'll come down from the bridge. Lovely, give those knees a squeeze as well. Okay, make sure you're still quite close to the wall with your tailbone. We're going to take the ball now, lengthen out the legs vertically. So you can rest them against the wall, your toes are pointed, and we've got the ball in each hand. Let's reach it up. Shoulders are in full contact with the floor, so you've not overreached. You want that scapular anchorage. Okay, let's take the ball overhead. And when you do it, try not to flare the rib cage. Keep it nice and relaxed. Now we're going to exhale as you bring the ball up, lift the back of the head and try and tap your, your thighs and your shins. Then come back. So we exhale gently up, inhale down. And breathe. So we're not jerking the body up. We're not forcing it up, we're just lifting the back of the head and the shoulder blades. Exhale, inhale, drawing the navel in and up. So we keep the core engaged throughout. We exhale up so we can keep tightening the core. Lovely. Last one. And then just relax it there, and then you're just going to widen out your feet. So we're a bit of a V shape now. Okay, now we're going to do that again. So lifting the back of the head and the shoulders, but tapping the wall now. So arms fully lengthened, but shoulders stay back and down. So when you do this, you're not hunching the shoulders up to the ears. And we're going slowly, really getting that core activation now. And breathe. Now we're going to try and combine both exercises there, okay? So you're going to bring your ball up when the legs are apart. As you reach back, legs come together. So as you lift your head and shoulders, you're taking the ball towards the wall. Now you can allow your feet and legs to kind of stay in contact with the wall as you do this. I just don't like the feel of it, and also it's really loud as well, so I don't want it to interfere with the noise with the sound on the video. So exhale, inhale, we've got 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to hold this one, so feet wide. See if you can reach a little bit higher up. Keep the ball on the wall, fingertips on the ball, and pulse, 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 pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really feeling that burn in the abs now. Well done, everyone. Okay, you're going to put the ball on the floor, and then the next exercise we're going to do will be side lying. So I'm going to adjust the camera so that you can see what's going on, but just be really careful. You're just going to come into a seated position, ready to do some side lying. Okay, see you in a moment. All right then, so if you're mirroring me, I'm on my right, so you'll be on your left side. We're going to be going close to the wall here with our backs. Okay, so back of the pelvis on the wall, and we're going to come down nice and low. So this bottom arm wants to be lengthened out so that you can rest your head on the upper arm here. You can just take the ball and pop it in front of your chest so you can relax the palm on the top of it. Okay, make sure your feet are touching the floor, so your knees are bent, heels are also touching the wall as well. And we just need to stack our pelvis, okay? So just take this top hip away from you so the pelvis is stacked, so you're not sinking the waist down, okay? This is a more neutral position, and draw your navel in, engage your core so you can hold that pelvis in place as we do this. Right, so we're just gonna go for the clam then. Relax the shoulder at the top. Let's take the top knee, you're just gonna lift it up and place it back down again. So nice and simple, but doing the clam against the wall like this is a really good way to practice it. Because this is an exercise we do in Pilates very often, okay, but it's important to keep the pelvis still. So when you raise that top knee, the top hip isn't going behind you. So that's why we like to practice against the wall. It's a really good one. Now, you're just going to add a movement here. So when you lift the knee, hold it up. Keep the thigh nice and still as you just lengthen out the leg. So that's going to go out to a diagonal. You're then going to bring the toes together and then the knee down. So it's clam, kick, toe and knee. Keeping the pelvis stacked, or the hips stacked and the pelvis facing forward at all times. So really use your core here. And you'll start to feel this around the outside of your hip and towards the glutes, so towards the back of the hip here. Just lost me way there. And you might even feel it around the hip flexors at the top of the thigh towards the pelvis. All right, now the next time you lift your knee, just hold it there so the toes are together. Now you're going to take the knees, or take the top knee and bring it down, but lift the foot. Now bring the toes down and lift the knee. I'm going to keep this going. So now we're twisting at the hip. This is internal and external hip rotation. So you will start to feel heavy around the hip joints. Again, keep thinking about the position of your pelvis. Keep the core engaged. And remember to breathe as well, okay? So we exhale, inhale. We've got 3, 2, last one. All right, and then we're going to relax it there. Now we're going to come to seated, so just bring this bottom arm around a bit and you can press into the ball to help you to come to seated, and then we'll take the feet to the other end of the mat so you can still face forward and see the screen, but we'll just work the other side of your body. So go really close to the wall with your back. We're lengthening out the bottom arm. Ball in front of your chest so you can relax your hand on it. We're bending the knees and we've got the feet against the wall. Okay, so let's stack the hips again. Send the top hip away from you. Draw your tummy button in. Let's hold that position and just start to lift and lower that top knee. All right, so nice and steady. Try not to throw the knee up or force it. We're going really steady, just squeezing the hip and the glute there. Lovely, nice smooth movement. Just keeping an eye on our posture and neutral pelvic position. Okay, let's add the kick. All right, so we're just gonna lift and then lengthen the leg. Bring the toes together and the knee down. So it just feels a little bit more intense around the hip joint there. So it's shh, 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 and breathe. Good, little in-breaths in between. So shh, shh, shh. Just gives you a nice little rhythm there as well. Okay, let's just do a couple more then, and we're going to do the internal and external hip rotation. So we'll do it on this one here. So the next time you lift your knee, just hold it there. So we bring that top knee down as we lift the toes together to lift the knee. So a little bit of a twist there around the hip joint. Good. Exhale, inhale. You can push very gently into the ball here as you work, because you want to keep your chest facing forward as well. So shoulders should be stacked as well as the hips. All right, last couple then. And then we're going to relax it there. Well done. All right, now we're going to come away from the wall. So very carefully, just come forward slightly and take yourselves onto your backs. And then if you just pop the ball, just pop it to one side so it's not going to roll away. And we're just going to have a little bit of a happy baby pose. So just come away from your wall, because you don't want to whack it with your knees. But just give your knees a little bit of a squeeze, draw them towards you. Okay, and then you're just going to part the knees and then place your arms through the centre, taking hold of either the outside of your feet or your ankles, but just hold that lovely position. It's a really nice way to just stretch out the hips and give you some relief. Perfect. We'll hold that for 3, 2 and 1. And then we'll pop our feet down, take hold of the ball if you have one. If you don't, this might make you want one actually. So you're going to take the ball and place it behind your neck and just relax your head on it, relax your shoulders, arms down by your sides, and just have your knees and feet hip width apart so that you can comfortably relax your pelvis. Okay, all we're going to do here is gently turn the head from side to side. Just really enjoy that really lovely massage feeling down the back of the neck. You can also add another movement here as well. So if you come back to facing the camera here or facing the screen, you can start to make little circles with your chin as you kind of make your way over to the other side of your neck. And if you find that there's any areas that maybe feel a little bit tender or a bit sore, you can kind of focus on those. You can really play with that movement, just working away from side to side. But for now, that brings us to the end of the session. So I really hope that you enjoyed that. And if you did, please give the video a like and remember to subscribe to the channel. So if you enjoyed that video, you'll always get notifications of any other workouts that I upload online. So thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.